Welcome back to the channel my friends. Today I am bringing you another mind-blowing and extremely valuable coin story, one that has been shaking the numismatic world and going viral across collectors communities worldwide, because today we are diving deep into the incredible history, value, rarity and unbelievable money potential of the 1966 Washington quarter dollar, the iconic Liberty coin with the powerful American motto "In God We Trust," a coin that might look ordinary inside your pocket change, but actually hides a secret that could change everything you know about modern coins, because some rare 1966 quarter dollar varieties are now worth up to a massive $5,600 in the market. This is beyond shocking, and today you are going to learn exactly why this coin is so special, so valuable and so historically important. So make sure you watch until the very end, because the information you are going to hear today can literally help you identify a jackpot hiding in your home, in your old drawers, in your parents' coin jar, or even inside your pocket right now. Let us begin with a powerful introduction to the story of the 1966 Washington quarter dollar. This coin belongs to a very historic time in American coinage, as the United States Mint was undergoing major transformation due to the nationwide silver shortage. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, but when the shortage hit, the government immediately switched to copper-nickel clad composition, so the 1966 Washington quarter became part of the earliest generation of post-silver clad quarters, making it a transitional era coin full of mysteries, unique features and unexpected minting mistakes, which today make it extremely collectible and surprisingly valuable to coin collectors, dealers and auction houses around the world. The portrait on the obverse features the legendary image of George Washington, symbolizing leadership and national pride. Above his image sits the word Liberty to remind citizens of the core American values, and on the left side the phrase "In God We Trust" stands strong, representing the country's belief, tradition and unity, while on the reverse the powerful bald eagle spreads its wings holding arrows and olive branches, which represent both strength and the desire for peace. This quarter may seem simple at first, but every element on its design makes it a rich historical artifact and a symbol of the American legacy. Now let us jump into the real reason why the 1966 quarter dollar is hitting trending lists and gaining massive attention across YouTube, TikTok, Facebook groups, coin forums and international collectors communities. The hidden value, the secret worth, the incredible potential of this coin. Because while most 1966 quarters are worth face value or a small premium, some extremely rare varieties and minting errors have exploded in value, reaching as high as $5,600 in auctions and private sales. Yes, you heard that correctly, a small everyday quarter from 1966 turning into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And if you have one with the right features, you could be sitting on a goldmine without even realizing it. Let us talk about the rarest and most valuable categories, starting with minting errors, because those are the real champions when it comes to the huge market values. Error coins are like factory mistakes made during striking, and these errors are so uncommon that collectors fight over them and pay huge amounts for them. Some of the best-known valuable error types for the 1966 quarter include off-center strike errors, where the design is shifted significantly, creating a unique misaligned coin. This type can bring hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on how major the shift is. Double die errors, which happen when the design is accidentally stamped twice, creating a doubling effect on letters, numbers or the face features of Washington. These coins can be worth incredibly high amounts because doubling errors are extremely desirable in the coin market. Clipped planchet errors, which happen when a portion of the coin is cut off, leading to a strange crescent missing from the edge. This makes the coin instantly unique and highly collectible. Broad strike errors, which happen when the coin is struck without a collar, making it expand outward and appear flattened. This kind of error brings strong value as well. And transitional planchet errors, where a 1966 quarter was accidentally struck on the wrong metal, such as leftover silver planchets from pre-1965 coins. This is the holy grail of errors, and such a coin can easily reach thousands of dollars or more if authenticated. Now the question many viewers want to know is, why does the 1966 Washington quarter in top condition become so expensive? And the answer lies in its scarcity. In perfect form, the U.S. Mint did not produce proof sets in 1966, and mint sets were extremely limited, which means finding a high-grade 1966 quarter with perfect luster, sharp details, clean surfaces and no damage is extremely rare. Collectors pay premium money for pristine condition coins graded by top organizations like PCGS and NGC. A coin graded MS66, MS67 or anything near top population can sell for massive amounts, and some examples have hit the $5,600 mark due to their rarity and the intense competition among collectors trying to build complete high-grade sets. The market for Washington quarters is booming right now, especially coins from the 60s. Because they represent an important transition from silver to clad metal, so people all over the world are hunting them in rolls, bags, hoards. Estate sales and auction platforms such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers and eBay. The 1966 quarter is trending because collectors now realize how few flawless examples survived circulation and how rare high-grade and error pieces truly are. This demand has pushed market prices to new records as more and more people discover the hidden value behind this historically important coin. Now let us talk about how you can check your own 1966 quarter at home. First, examine the date and make sure it clearly shows 1966. Next, observe George Washington's face, hair details and surface shine. If yours has clear lines and full details, there is a chance it might be worth grading. Also, check the coin carefully under light to see if any doubling error exists, especially on Liberty and God We Trust and the date. Look for cracks, misstrikes, missing parts, clipped edges, or coins that look too silverish, because these could be transitional planchets and extremely valuable. Always handle the coin carefully, avoid rubbing it and avoid cleaning it, which can reduce its value dramatically. If you believe you have a special one, send it to a professional grading service to unlock its true worth. Collectors love the 1966 quarter because it tells a powerful story. It reflects America's economic situation, the silver crisis, the mint's rapid shift in technology, and the resilience of American currency. The 1966 Washington quarter stands as a symbol of change, transition and heritage, and this alone makes it a must-have for anyone collecting history through coins. Its value keeps rising every year because fewer quality examples remain as time goes on and more people learn about its rarity and potential worth. So if you have a 1966 quarter, do not ignore it, do not spend it, check it carefully because it may be worth far more than 25 cents and could even reach the unbelievable value of $5,600 depending on errors, condition and grade. This is why collectors are calling the 1966 Washington quarter a silent treasure, a hidden gem and a sleeper coin with massive investment potential. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and exciting discoveries in the world of United States coins, the 1986 Washington quarter. Liberty in God We Trust coin, a coin that millions of people have handled in their daily lives, yet only a tiny fraction of collectors know that some rare varieties of this exact coin can be worth a lot of money, with market prices reaching up to $4,600 depending on condition, rarity and error type. So stay tuned, because in this video we are not only exploring the full history of the 1986 Washington quarter but also every detail that makes this coin extremely collectible, valuable and shockingly desirable on the coin market today. As we begin, let us start from the origin of this beautiful quarter. Issued in 1986 from the Denver Mint, carrying the famous D Mint mark which appears on the obverse side near Washington's ponytail, this coin was minted as part of the long-running Washington quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth and continued for decades before being replaced by the state quarter program in 1999. But even though millions of these coins rolled out of the Denver Mint, not all 1986 quarters were created equal, because certain production mistakes, striking problems, metal issues and rare mint errors have turned some of these coins into incredibly valuable treasures for collectors around the world. When we talk about a coin worth thousands of dollars, we are usually talking about the highest grade examples, coins that are nearly flawless and preserved in extraordinary condition, and there are indeed 1986 Washington quarters graded at the upper levels such as MS-66, MS-67 and very rarely MS-68 that can command extremely high prices at auction, sometimes crossing $4,000 or more, because superb gem condition quarters from the 1980s become harder to find each year. The metal wears down, circulation damages the surfaces, and obtaining an untouched example becomes like searching for a needle in a haystack. But condition is not the only reason these quarters explode in value. When we talk about big money in coin collecting, errors play a huge role, and the 1986 quarter has several high-value error varieties that make collectors go crazy. One of the most valuable is the off-center strike error, where the design is visibly shifted from the center, creating an incomplete or misaligned image. Depending on how severe the misalignment is, the value can increase dramatically, sometimes reaching thousands. Another amazing error is the double die variety, where parts of the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust or the year 1986 appear doubled due to mistakes in the die creation process. These double die quarters are extremely desirable because the doubling effect can be seen clearly without magnification, which instantly makes collectors willing to pay premium prices. Then there are dramatic planchet errors such as Coins struck on the wrong metal blank or missing a layer of the clad metal which causes strange colors, textures and weight differences. These kinds of errors are very rare, and when discovered they can shoot up the market value well into the thousands. Along with this, mint mark anomalies, especially those involving the D-mint mark like punched over mint marks, filled mint marks and tilted mint marks, can also make collectors pay unbelievably high premiums, since these mint mark mistakes are often extremely limited in number and rarely seen in circulation. But aside from errors and condition, there is also the historical charm of this quarter. It comes from a period when the United States Mint was transitioning between older technologies and more modern minting systems, meaning that 1980s coins sometimes show unique characteristics that are not present in earlier or later decades, and collectors love these transitional era pieces because they reflect a blend of history and technological change. The Washington quarter design itself, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse and the bold eagle perched on arrows and olive branches on the reverse, holds strong symbolism representing American strength, peace and leadership, which adds deeper meaning to the coin, especially for patriotic collectors. Over the years, coin hunters have found unbelievable rarities hidden in pocket change, coin rolls and old collections, turning what seemed like an ordinary 1986 D quarter into a high value collectible, because people often do not notice the small details like die cracks, rim die breaks struck through grease errors or clipping issues, all of which can drastically increase the worth of this coin. That is why many experts recommend always checking your coins carefully using a magnifying lens or microscope and learning the key markers that can help identify rare varieties and valuable errors. Even coins that look ordinary at first glance may contain hidden details that only become visible under strong lighting and magnification, so collectors around the world always stay alert for these potential treasures. Now let's talk more about market demand, because the 1986 D Washington quarter continues to rise in popularity, especially among younger collectors who are just getting into the hobby. Many collectors want to build complete Washington quarter sets, and they actively search for the highest grade examples from each year, including 1986, so demand remains strong in auctions, coin shops and online marketplaces. And when demand is high and supply is extremely limited, especially for top grade and error examples, prices naturally rise. And that is exactly why coins like the rare 1986 D quarter can reach values around $4,600 or even higher when two or more collectors compete to own the best specimen available. Auctions have shown that even modestly rare errors can multiply in price because each piece is one of a kind, and in the world of numismatics, anything unique always has strong long-term value. This is why finding one of these rare quarters in pocket change is like finding hidden treasure, because the potential profit is huge with no risk at all. And even if your coin is not worth thousands, a nicely preserved 1986 D quarter can still be worth more than face value, especially in high grades. The key is to always check the coin and understand what makes it special. Collectors also recommend storing coins properly to prevent damage, because the smallest scratch or contact mark can reduce the grade and drastically lower the value. But with good protection, 1980s era quarters can survive for decades and still look fresh like the day they were minted, increasing their chances of reaching top grade classification and top market value. Many people are shocked when they learn that modern coins from the 1980s can sell for thousands, because there is a common belief that only ancient coins or silver coins have huge value, but this is not true. Value depends on rarity, condition, errors and collector demand, not the age of the coin. So the 1986 D Washington quarter shows that even a simple everyday coin can become a treasure when rarity meets collector excitement and historical significance. And that is why people all over the world continue searching, analyzing and discovering incredible finds in the world of Washington quarters. So if you have a 1986 D quarter, make sure to check it carefully. Look for doubling off center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and especially look at the mint mark area, because even small anomalies can dramatically increase value. And always remember that coins are more than metal, they are pieces of history, and owning a rare valuable example gives you a direct connection to the past, to American heritage and to the ongoing story of numismatics. And with market values reaching as high as $4,600, this is definitely one of the most exciting coins to look for right now. So keep hunting, keep collecting, and you never know, the next valuable treasure might already be in your pocket. And that wraps up this incredibly detailed deep dive into the quarter $1,986 D Washington Liberty. In God we trust coin, its history, its surprising value, and what makes it worth a lot of money. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more coin stories and keep your eyes open, because the next $1 million discovery could be a coin you already have in your hands. The world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and the unbelievable value that some ordinary-looking coins can hold today, and in this video we are going to explore one of the most surprising and talked about coins in the collector's market, the quarter $1,990 P Washington Liberty in God We Trust coin, a coin that many people have handled in their everyday life without ever realizing that this small metallic piece could be worth a huge amount of money, and its market value can reach up to an amazing $3,600, and in some cases even more depending on condition, rarity, demand, historical significance, and most importantly its errors and striking characteristics. So stay with me all the way to the end, because what I am about to share with you can completely change the way you look at the coin sitting right now in your pockets, drawers, jars, and old money boxes. The quarter $1,990 P Washington coin is one of the most fascinating coins from modern U.S. coinage, and collectors all over the world keep their eyes open for this one, because although millions were minted, the special valuable ones have very unique qualities that make them incredibly desirable and extremely valuable in auctions and private sales. So let us first go back in time and talk about the history of this coin and why the 1990 P Washington quarter became such an important part of American numismatic history. The Washington Quarter series started in 1932 when it was first introduced to honor the 200th birthday anniversary of George Washington, the first President of the United States and the founding father whose leadership established the foundation of the nation. And this design, featuring the bust of Washington with the word liberty above and the motto "In God We Trust" on the left side, became one of the most iconic designs in United States coinage history, and this design continued for decades, and the 1990 P version carries this same proud heritage. But what makes the 1990 P quarter so special is not just the history but the minting process, conditions, and special errors that happened during production in the Philadelphia Mint, which is known as the P Mint mark. And the P Mint mark, positioned on the right side of the coin under the eagle on the reverse, shows that this coin was minted in Philadelphia. And whenever the U.S. Mint produces coins, sometimes small mistakes happen, and these mistakes create treasures that collectors desperately want in their collections. And the 1990 P quarter is famous for multiple types of rare and valuable errors, which include off-center strikes, double die obverse, double die reverse, planchet errors, broad strikes, weak strikes, mintmark issues, and even missing clad layer errors. And these errors are what transform a normal 25-cent coin into an incredibly valuable piece that can reach thousands of dollars on the collector's market. And one of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse, where the letters in words like liberty and "In God We Trust" show doubling or shadowing, and this doubling occurs when the die strikes the planchet, imperfectly creating a doubled image. And collectors pay huge money for such error coins because they are extremely rare, especially from the modern era. And another extremely rare error that can push the value beyond $3,600 is the missing clad layer error, because Washington quarters are normally made of a copper core covered with layers of copper nickel, and if one of the clad layers is missing, the coin shows unusual colors, textures, weight difference, and sometimes a copper appearance on one side. And this kind of error is very rare for 1990 P, making it a true jackpot for those who find one. And besides these errors, the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in determining its value, because in the world of coin collecting, condition is king, and a coin that looks shiny, untouched, and almost brand new is known as mint state. And mint state coins graded by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC often sell for thousands of dollars if they are high grade, especially MS65, MS66, MS67 and above. And the reason these coins become so valuable is because very few coins from 1990 survive in such perfect condition, since most were used in circulation, scratched, worn, or damaged. And today collectors desperately search for high grade 1990 P quarters because they are extremely hard to find, and when such a coin appears in an auction, the bidding goes wild and the prices jump into the thousands. And that is why some 1990 P quarters have sold for market values reaching around $3,600, making ordinary people suddenly realize that they were holding a small fortune without even knowing it. And now let us talk about what signs you need to check if you want to know whether your 1990 P quarter is valuable. The first thing to do is look closely at the mint mark P, because it tells you the coin came from the Philadelphia Mint. And then check the date 1990 and make sure the numbers are crisp, clear, and not worn out, because a clear date increases the value. Next, carefully observe the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" to check for doubling, misalignment, or any unusual shapes. And the next step is to examine the edges of the coin, because missing clad layer errors can be seen on the edges where the copper core becomes visible. And if you notice any strange coloration or uneven layers, that may be a sign of a rare valuable Error after that, check the reverse side with the eagle and look at the wings, feathers, arrows and olive branches, because some coins have double details or weak strikes. And finally, examine the overall condition for scratches, dents and signs of wear, because the less damage the more valuable the coin becomes. And if you think you have something special, never clean the coin, because cleaning destroys value and professionals do not recommend it. Instead, get the coin graded, because grading gives the coin official certification and allows it to sell for higher prices. And now let us talk about the market demand for the 1990p Washington quarter and why collectors are paying such high prices for it today. The collector's market is highly influenced by rarity, demand, historical value, and the excitement among coin lovers who want to own something unique and special. And as more people learn about rare coins through YouTube videos, online articles, auctions and social media, the demand for coins like the 1990p quarter skyrockets, and the more people look for it, the more valuable it becomes. And this is why the market value today reaches up to around $3,600 for the best and rarest examples, and experts believe that the value can increase more in the future as collectors' competition rises and rare error coins become harder to find. So if you have a collection, or if you recently found an old jar of coins at home, make sure you check carefully, because your fortune could be hiding right there inside a coin that looks ordinary but is actually worth thousands of dollars. And remember that every valuable coin in history started as a regular coin in someone's pocket until someone realized its rarity and importance, and the 1990p Washington quarter is no different. And now, as we move toward the conclusion, let me tell you this: if you ever come across a 1990p Washington Liberty in God We Trust quarter, do not ignore it, inspect it carefully, look for errors, analyze its condition, and understand that this coin represents more than just 25 cents. It is a small piece of American history, a product of the minting process, a symbol of the nation, and potentially a treasure worth thousands. And that is why collectors treasure it so much and hold on to it for future value growth as well. And many people around the world have no idea that coins like these exist, but you now know the secrets and the possibilities, and that knowledge may lead you to discovering a coin worth a life-changing amount of money. And if you want more videos on rare coins, old treasures, and the hidden value in everyday currency, do not forget to subscribe, like and share, because your support helps the channel grow and allows me to bring more exciting content just like this. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the quarter $1,990p Washington coin and its incredible value, history, errors and market price. And remember, always check your coins, because treasures are everywhere and your next big discovery might be just one coin away. Where every detail, every mint mark, every small error and every historical moment can turn an ordinary-looking coin in your pocket into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And in today's video we are taking a full journey through the incredible story, value, rarity, and money-making potential of the 1994 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that millions of people have touched without knowing that certain special versions of this coin can be worth as much as $2,600 in today's collector market. So stay tuned, because this is going to be one of the most fascinating numismatic explorations we have ever done. And if you love learning about rare coins, valuable quarters, hidden treasures and coins that are worth way more than their face value, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss these powerful videos that could put real money into your hands. Now let's begin by stepping back into the year 1994, a time when the U.S. Mint continued producing Washington quarters with the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse with the words "Liberty" above his head and the powerful motto "In God We Trust" to the side. And below this design you will find the very important 1994 date and the D Mint mark representing the Denver Mint. And what many collectors do not know is that even though millions of 1994 D quarters were struck, only a tiny fraction come with the types of rare errors, exceptional strikes, special conditions and high grade preservation levels that can push their value from just 25 cents all the way into the thousands. And this is exactly why 1994 D quarters have become one of the hottest trending coins in the numismatic world today, especially as more collectors and treasure hunters search through their old coin jars hoping to find an uncirculated high-grade specimen or a dramatic minting error that could change their life. So let's get into exactly what makes this coin potentially worth so much money. Starting with its historical background, because the Washington quarter has been one of the most iconic American coins since 1932, originally designed by John Flanagan as a tribute to George Washington on the 200th anniversary of his birth, and by 1994 the design was still going strong, but the minting technology had advanced, creating opportunities for unique error coins that today are extremely valuable. The Denver Mint in particular is known for producing some error varieties that Collectors pay big money for, and in the case of the 1994 D quarter, some of the most well-known valuable errors include off-center strikes where part of the design is missing because the coin was not properly positioned during minting, double die obverse errors where elements like the date or the word liberty appear doubled creating a visually striking effect, clipped planchet errors where a piece of the coin is literally cut out resulting in a crescent-shaped missing area, broad strike, and partial collar errors which give the coin a stretched or flattened appearance, and of course the incredibly rare struck-through errors where foreign materials interfered with the coin during minting, and all of these errors can send the value of a 1994 D quarter skyrocketing into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic the error is and how well preserved the coin remains. But beyond errors there is another huge factor that determines the value, and that is grading. Because the grading scale used by collectors and professionals like PCGS and NGC ranges from poor all the way to mint state, with the highest and most desirable grades being MS65, MS66, MS67 and ultra-rare MS68 and higher, and yes, there are confirmed auction results of 1994 D quarters graded exceptionally high that have sold for more than $2,000. Especially when the coin shows strong luster, full strike details, sharp edges and no scratches or wear marks, and because surviving examples in high grade are extremely scarce, these coins command huge premiums, and this is exactly why so many collectors search through rolls of old quarters hoping to find a hidden gem, because even one uncirculated 1994 D quarter kept in mint condition could today be valued at $2,600 in the marketplace. So the big question is, what should you look for if you want to find one of these treasure coins? The first step is checking the mint mark. Look for the letter D under the date confirming that it was struck at the Denver Mint. Next, check the condition. If the coin looks shiny, clean, untouched with no visible wear, you might have a high-grade candidate, and if it looks like it has a strange pattern, doubling, missing parts or odd shapes, you might have discovered an error that could be even more valuable. Then examine the rim, making sure it is even and complete. Misaligned or partially missing rims may indicate a striking error. Also flip the coin over and inspect the reverse featuring the bold eagle with spread wings, the United States of America inscription, and the $quarter denomination. Any doubling, misalignment, weak strike or unusual mark could raise the value dramatically, and once you suspect your coin might be special, the next step is to compare it with known high-value examples online or send it for professional grading, which can transform your coin from pocket change into a certified valuable collectible, and collectors often pay top dollar for professionally graded coins because authentication ensures that the coin is genuine, rare and accurately graded, increasing buyer confidence and market demand. And now let's talk about why the market value continues rising, because as more people become aware of rare coins on social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok and Instagram, the demand for valuable coins like the 1994 D quarter keeps increasing, and as demand increases and supply stays low, prices naturally rise, making these coins even more valuable in future years. So if you own a 1994 D quarter or you find one, do not ignore it, do not spend it, do not toss it in a drawer, examine it carefully, because you might be holding a small 25-cent piece that could be worth thousands. And many collectors have found rare quarters in pocket change, coin rolls, estate collections and even old piggy banks, and each discovery story inspires more treasure hunters to search for their own fortune. And if you ever find one of these valuable quarters, it could become one of the best coin discoveries you ever make. And before we wrap up, I want to remind all viewers that the key to success in coin collecting is knowledge, patience and attention to detail, because every rare coin ever found was discovered by someone who took the time to look closely and understand the signs of value. And who knows, maybe the next great discovery of a $1,994 D Washington quarter will be made by you. So keep searching, keep learning, keep collecting and keep watching, because more incredible coin videos are coming your way with even bigger discoveries, higher values and unbelievable historical stories. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep and powerful journey through the world of rare United States quarter dollars, make sure to like, share and subscribe so you never miss an opportunity to turn your pocket change into profit. See you in the next video where we uncover another hidden treasure waiting to be found. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins as we explore the incredible story, the hidden value, the mysterious history, and the unbelievable market price of one of the most surprising modern treasures in American numismatics, the $quarter 1997 D Washington Liberty. In God we trust coin, a coin that most people have held in their hands without ever knowing that it could be worth a lot of money, and in some rare conditions even reach the unbelievable market value of $1 $6,000. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 25-cent piece that millions of people used every single day could be hiding life-changing value in your pocket change. And today in this powerful and trending video we are going to uncover everything about this coin, from its origin to its surprising errors, from minting secrets to the rarest known examples, and from its historical importance to the exact reasons why collectors around the world are paying so much for this small yet mighty Washington quarter. So stay tuned, because this entire video is going to blow your mind, and by the end you might even rush to check your old coin stash, your coin jar, or your collection, because who knows, you may already have a fortune sitting right in your home. The story of the 1997 Washington quarter begins with the legendary portrait of George Washington, designed originally by sculptor John Flanagan, whose iconic depiction has remained an American symbol of liberty for decades. The words "Liberty in God We Trust" and the United States of America wrap around this powerful design, and on the reverse we have the commanding eagle that stood on countless quarters before the state quarter series ever took over the American pocket change scene. The 1997 mint mark tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, which produced a massive quantity of these coins, yet even with millions minted, only a tiny fraction hold the special qualities that make them valuable, and this is why collectors chase certain examples with enormous determination. Now, what makes the 1997 Washington quarter so special is not just its regular history, but the rare errors and extreme grade conditions that transformed this everyday coin into a treasure worth up to $1,600 and more. The first major factor is condition. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting, and the highest grades given by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC can elevate the value of a common coin to extraordinary heights. The rarest finds are those graded MS67, MS68 or above. These coins have extremely sharp details, bright luster, and almost no imperfections, as if they were frozen in time. The Denver Mint in 1997 was known for powerful striking machines, but also for occasional striking inconsistencies that today are prized as collectible errors. Collectors often look for rare mistakes such as double die obverse, where the lettering "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appears doubled because of a slight shift during striking. Broad strikes, where the coin looks stretched or flattened off center. Strikes where parts of the design appear misaligned. Clipped planchets, where a curved section of the metal is missing. And one of the most desirable strike-through errors, where an object accidentally came between the die and the planchet during the minting process, imprinting a unique pattern on the coin. Each of these errors can push the price of a 1997 quarter far beyond normal values, but when these errors appear on a coin that is also preserved in extremely high condition, the value skyrockets, and that is how some rare examples hit prices above $1,600 in the coin market. But the value does not come only from errors. The historical context of these quarters is also important. 1997 was one of the final years before the United States Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999, which changed collecting patterns forever. This makes the late 90s Washington quarters somewhat symbolic as the last of the classic eagle reverse design that began all the way back in 1932. For this reason, collectors enjoy building full sets of Washington quarters, including key dates, high-grade modern examples, and rare mint errors. And the 1997 plays a surprising role because its best preserved pieces have proven difficult to find in top condition, and that scarcity drives demand higher year after year. The coin market has shown over and over that rare coins can explode in value when collectors compete for the highest graded examples. Auction houses have recorded eye-opening sales for modern quarters, including the 1997 in MS68, which has been known to reach or even exceed that $1,600 mark depending on demand at the time. Modern collectors, many of them new to the hobby, continue to chase Washington quarters from the 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000s, and this new wave of interest has increased the pricing of exceptional specimens dramatically. This is why, even if you have handled hundreds of these coins in daily life, only a tiny number are worth big money, and those are the ones preserved in unbelievable condition or carrying rare mint errors. Now imagine you find a bright, lustrous, untouched 1997 Washington quarter sitting inside an old jar or in a collection passed down through family. It may look ordinary, but under the right lighting you might start noticing flawless surfaces, sharp details, shining luster, and no scratches. This is when it becomes important to inspect your coin carefully. Look at the mint mark D, look at the word "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Look at George Washington's hair details and look closely at the eagle feathers. If all elements appear sharp and without wear, this could mean you are holding a high-grade piece, and that is where the value begins. If you notice doubling on letters or unusual lines or an odd shape on the rim, these might signal an error, which increases the value even more. Collectors and investors Always say the same thing: you never know what you have until you check, and that is especially true with a coin like the 1997 D quarter. While most are worth only face value, the rare ones are extremely valuable, and the demand continues to grow as people discover what specific examples can sell for online in auctions. And at Coin shows, every collector dreams of finding that perfect coin, and the thrill of discovering a hidden treasure is what makes this hobby so exciting. The 1997 D Washington quarter has become a star in many trending videos because viewers love learning that something so ordinary can secretly be worth money, making the coin world feel full of mystery, opportunity, and excitement. So when we talk about this coin being worth $1.6 thousand, we are talking about the highest graded, beautifully preserved, rarest condition masterpieces that survive only in tiny numbers out of millions minted. These are the coins that catch the attention of collectors and become highlights in auctions, and that is the reason you should always check the quarters in your home, because you may not realize that your everyday change can hide rare treasures waiting to be discovered. Collectors also appreciate that this was a time when the United States Mint was transitioning into more modern production systems, yet some imperfections still slipped through, creating unique collectible errors. These errors become even more valuable when the coin looks like it just left the mint yesterday, with glowing surfaces and crystal clear details. So the perfect combination of rarity, quality, and minting mistakes is what pushes this coin into the high value range. As we reach the later part of this video, remember that the beauty of coin collecting is not just the money, it is the history, the story, the artistry, and the excitement of uncovering something truly special. And the 1997 D Washington quarter represents all these elements in one small piece of metal, from the portrait of America's first president to the iconic eagle reverse to the errors that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. This coin is a symbol of discovery, waiting in pockets, purses, drawers, and old piggy banks this very moment. So if you want to become a treasure hunter of modern American coins, start by looking closely at your 1997 D quarters. Flip them under good lighting, inspect every detail, and if you see anything unusual, or if your coin looks exceptionally flawless, consider getting it graded, because one lucky coin could change everything and be worth as much as $1.6 thousand in the right market. And that is the magic of numismatics, a hobby where knowledge, patience, and curiosity come together to create opportunities for anyone, anywhere.